In the outer rims of the Yavin system, the balance of the Force falters. A vibration echoing in silence leaves a deep mark on Obi Wan Kenobi's mind. This sensation is unfamiliar. It is neither a call from the Jedi Council nor an echo of a known threat. It is something entirely different. Obi Wan veers his scouting ship off course, heading toward uncharted points of the galaxy. As he proceeds under the guidance of the Force, even the stars around him seem to shine differently. The growing doubt within him does not slow him down, for what he feels is powerful enough to shake the fabric of the universe. When he enters meditation, his mind is drawn into a dark whirlpool. The visions he sees are fragmented and ominous. Time bends. A reality forms, trapped between light and darkness. Obi-Wan opens his eyes. He is no longer at the edge of an answer, but at the threshold of a confrontation. In a distant realm, in the darkness of another universe, Voldemort reaches the depths of the forest with the Death Eaters. He stands before an ancient altar spoken of in legends. This place is only known as Beyond Death. Once opened, what might come through is unknown. Voldemort's purpose is clear. He seeks immortality not merely through magic, but by bending the rules of the universe itself. He raises his wand and begins the incantation. Dark words pierce the air, stones tremble, and the earth cracks. An invisible force emerges. The energy from the portal races against time. This gateway opens to another universe. Reality twists. The language of the stars falls silent, and Voldemort smiles, for before him lies not death, but the doorway to a new universe. As these two different universes proceed on their own paths, a crack forms in reality. While Obi-Wan travels through an unknown dimension, his ship shakes. The portal Voldemort opened widens, sensing the presence of another power. It is a kind of force even he is not accustomed to. The flow of energy spirals out of control. Dimensions overlap, time collapses, and space shatters. Obi-Wan's ship and Voldemort's presence in the portal reach the same point. Light clashes with shadow. The Force and magic meet for the first time. In that moment, the universe falls silent. The two figures look at each other. There is no question in their eyes, only readiness. This is no longer a coincidence. It is a meeting unwritten by destiny. Obi-Wan pauses for a moment when he realizes the ground beneath his feet is not stable. He narrows his eyes slightly and begins to sense his surroundings. The vibrations in the air are unfamiliar. This is not a form of the Force. It is more primitive and more selfish. Dark, yet unknown. Obi-Wan's expression grows serious. The dark tremor surrounding his soul whispers of a presence before him. A presence filled with rage and burning with a desire for control. The Jedi Master's inner voice clearly identifies this foreign power as a threat. Light is present everywhere, but now he stands face to face with an energy that dares to challenge its brilliance. Voldemort's reddish eyes lock onto Obi-Wan. The man before him resembles neither a wizard nor a warrior, yet the energy surrounding him is undeniably powerful. This is not magic. It resembles none of the curses, spells, or dark arts Voldemort knows. But it is not a weak force either. Voldemort, who feels magic coursing through his veins, cannot comprehend the source of this man's power. He cannot sense it with his wand, nor decipher it with his mind. The Force becomes a nameless threat to him. Unlike his own darkness, this energy is silent but resolute. To Voldemort, this moment is the embodiment of his hatred for the unknown. He will not bow to a power he does not understand. The two figures stand face to face. It is Obi-Wan who breaks the silence first. My power comes from the balance of life, from a flow that resonates in every atom of the universe. Your power, however, is about possession and domination. Voldemort narrows his eyes and replies, My power is born of will and fear. Power must be bent. It must submit. It must serve the Creator. Obi-Wan steps forward. Your understanding is nothing but that of darkness. The Force does not exist to dominate, it exists to protect. Light does not control, it guides. Voldemort's voice rises, filled with magic, weakness. Such thoughts will only lead you to the grave. True power lies in the hands of those who wield fear. Obi-Wan closes his eyes. Fear is the first door to darkness. And beyond that door lies only ruin and solitude. You've already stepped through it. And for a moment, each tries to see himself in the other's eyes. But neither Obi Wan can find a spark of light in Voldemort's heart, nor can Voldemort sense weakness in the Jedi's words. When Voldemort narrows his eyes, he gazes at Obi Wan with a sinister intent rising from the depths of his mind. This is no ordinary duel. This is a battle of minds. Lord Voldemort is a dark wizard who has devoted years to unraveling the fears and secrets of others. One of his special talents is legilimency, the art of entering a mind to see memories, emotions, and weaknesses. Obi-Wan's silence catches Voldemort's attention. He senses the Jedi's mind is closed off, but that doesn't deter him. Focusing his mental energy, he begins to push in. But Obi-Wan's mind is far from ordinary. Inside, he is met not with the thoughts of a warrior, but with the labyrinth of a philosopher forged in pain. Suddenly, Voldemort feels as if he's been pulled into a mist. The screams of young Anakin, the fall of Qui-Gon Jinn, the blazing deserts of Geonosis. These are not the echoes of a foe, they are the reverberations of a tragedy. Obi-Wan closes his eyes and steadies his breath. Each moment he connects with the Force, he raises the walls of his mind higher. Jedi are as much spiritual warriors as they are physical ones. Meditation is not merely a tool for calm, it is a shield of the mind. The moment Voldemort's hooks touch his thoughts, Obi-Wan does not let him pass through the Force. Instead, he retreats to the center of his consciousness. There is a void there. No sound, no image, only peace. In this silence, Obi-Wan finds himself again. Though he carries his fallen master, his lost friends, and his broken student within his heart, he does not bear their weight. He has made peace with the shadows of his past. Voldemort cannot reach this serenity. Each attempt brings him crashing against the walls of his own rage. Obi-Wan's mind is like a mirror that absorbs darkness. For Voldemort, this is the first time he loses direction while invading a mind. This confrontation is not just a battle of magic or the Force. It is a clash of two pasts, two journeys. Voldemort's mind is like a dark forest. Rejection in childhood, the absence of love, the obsessive hunger for control, these shaped him into a tyrant obsessed with power. To silence his own fears, he ruled over the fears of others. He responded to love with hatred, to trust with suspicion. Obi-Wan's inner world is far more complex. He is a leader, a teacher, and a man who has lost. Anakin's fall to darkness still lingers in his heart. But his journey has been shaped not by denial, but by acceptance. He has not fought his past, he has embraced it. And so his mental defense does not stand on anger, but on calm. In this scene, the inner worlds of two characters are laid bare. One has become a victim of the past, while the other has chosen to remain within it, and endure. The air splits open with the first curse from Voldemort's wand. The ominous green light of Avada Kedavra turns the night into instant hell. Voldemort's eyes are filled with hatred. His face is twisted with rage and the thirst for absolute power. As the attacks come one after another, his goal is not just to destroy, but to understand the force that stands before him. Because Obi-Wan does not fight magic with magic. He defends himself with something else. And to Voldemort, this becomes a riddle. Every curse is neutralized by an unknown force. This is not the kind of duel Voldemort is used to. He is not facing a teacher in the halls of Hogwarts, nor a weak student defying the Death Eaters. Before him stands an unshakable will, merged with an energy Voldemort does not understand, the Force. Obi-Wan moves his lightsaber with masterful precision. The blade acts as a shield against Voldemort's deadly spells. Whenever a curse strikes the saber's energy beam, it dissipates, deflects, or vanishes altogether. The Jedi Master parries each attack with intuitive grace. There is no panic in his steps, no chaos in his movements, only discipline. The Force is his guide, and there is no room for fear in his mind. Obi-Wan is not just defending himself, he is defending balance. The lightsaber is not merely a weapon. It is the physical reflection of a philosophy, a tradition, a teaching. And every defensive move is not just against spells, but against darkness itself. Voldemort raises his voice. His words echo with arrogance and the hunger to dominate. The Force is a reality the weak fear. They deny it because they are incapable of mastering it. You are a warrior. So why choose peace instead of conquest? Power exists only for domination. Obi Wan takes a deep breath. His eyes shine with serenity. The Force is not meant to oppress, it exists to bring balance. Peace does not arise on its own. It must be protected. But the purpose of war should not be to birth more wars. We Jedi do not seek domination. We seek balance. Voldemort laughs mockingly. What you call peace is an illusion. Reality belongs to those who hold power. Obi-Wan replies calmly, reality begins with inner peace. When power serves only the self, it becomes corruption. This dialogue is not merely an exchange of words between two enemies. It is the collision of two philosophies, two worldviews. Obi-Wan's voice is calm, yet carries a deep inner weight. His eyes drift into the distance. Everything I once believed in was shattered by Anakin's hands. I loved him like a brother, perhaps even like a son. He believed in the Force, but the fear in his heart drove him to the darkness. His anger toward the Jedi Council couldn't silence the emptiness inside him. I was there. I watched him fall. I couldn't stop him. In trying to save the galaxy, I lost the one closest to me. There is no resentment in his words, but the regret lingers in every sentence. As Obi-Wan speaks, he is not only judging Anakin, he is judging himself. Voldemort chuckles quietly. His voice spreads like a cold wind through the air. You clung to love, Obi-Wan. I embraced eternity. I was very young when I understood what death truly was, an end, an absence, a void. I ran from it, even at the cost of shattering my soul. They called me darkness. But immortality is not a curse, it is the cure for weakness. Your losses are slowly killing you. I have slain my own death, over and over again. These words hold not pain, but anger and ambition. Voldemort's fear still lives, and to control that fear, he is ready to burn down entire galaxies. Voldemort narrows his eyes, stepping toward Obi-Wan. You still hold yourself responsible for Anakin's fall. That guilt hides behind your noble words. The Jedi teach discipline, to suppress emotion. But you carry a wound that refuses to be silenced. You were the one who trained him, the one who guided him, and now you live with that burden. So why keep fighting? The Force has left you. You haven't even forgiven yourself. Who else could you possibly protect? With these words, Voldemort strikes at Obi-Wan's weakest point. His attack is not physical, but psychological. His aim is not to destroy his opponent, but to unravel him from within. Obi-Wan realizes that the guilt he has carried for years has not weakened him. On the contrary, it is what makes him human. Anakin's fall, the wars he has fought, and the losses he has endured all redefine his bond with the Force. A sense of determination appears on his face. He no longer focuses on the past, but on the present. He slowly raises his hands, and the air around him begins to grow dense. Stones begin to rise gently, and the wind trembles with the power of the Force. This connection makes him unshakable against the darkness. When Voldemort realizes that his spell has failed for the first time, a brief but sharp flicker of surprise flashes in his eyes. The Avada Kedavra curse dissolves into the blue glow of the lightsaber. The absolute control he has relied on for so long slips from his grasp for the first time. Panic creeps into him coldly and insidiously. Voldemort understands that the one standing before him is no ordinary enemy. This man builds a shield with his mind, resists with his body, and disperses the darkness with the Force. As Voldemort feels a will above magic itself, his expression hardens. In his world, such a thing is unexplainable. For the first time, fear touches the heart of the Dark Lord. Voldemort raises his wand, and dark spells twist through the air. Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber. The blue glow pierces through the night. Each of them is a representative of a different world. Force pushes, magical storms, fire, and lightning collide. Obi-Wan moves like a cycle, every strike deliberate, every defense shaped by inner balance. As Voldemort attacks, his uncontrolled rage surfaces. The lightsaber clashes with dark curses, and each impact feels as if it shakes the walls between universes. This is not merely a physical battle. It is a clash between faith and fear, balance and hunger, the Force and magic. And at last, a light begins to rise over the darkness. The dust of battle has settled. This unique war between magic and the Force has come to an end. Obi Wan lowers his lightsaber. He is the one still standing, but there is no victorious smile on his face. Only a deep silence and understanding. Voldemort is on his knees, gasping for breath. His eyes still burn with hatred. But magic no longer protects him. Obi Wan takes a step forward. He holds his lightsaber at the level of Voldemort's heart. But the strike never comes. Because being a Jedi means acting not with anger, but with wisdom. Obi Wan speaks slowly. Victory is not destroying your enemy. Victory is rising above them. Voldemort takes these words as a sign of weakness. But in Obi Wan's eyes, he sees no fear. Only determination. The Jedi has spared his body. But he does not allow him to carry the weight of his soul any longer. This is not only the victory of a duel. It is the victory of a principle. The sky trembles. The ancient gate begins to close. Time is running out as Obi Wan turns to walk away. He is about to cross the boundary between light and darkness. But then, Voldemort's voice echoes one last time. One day, the darkness will find you again. It is no longer a threat. It feels like a prophecy. Obi Wan stops. He bows his head slightly. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Then he answers with a single sentence. On that day, I will be ready.